All right, welcome to another edition of a Road to 240 workout. It's been a while since I posted one of these. That's not because I haven't been working out. It's just all the workouts I've been doing have been at the track, or I've been hitting up another just local gym, getting my workouts in. Um, but today, a little bit different in the garage, doing my own strength workout that I have here. So yeah, as always, I'll just be talking about whatever comes to mind. I just need to warm up first. I'm only going to spend about 5 minutes on the warm up here. And I'm just going to set up a little bit the other stuff I'll be doing or using. The other stuff I'll be using for training today. There we go. So I kind of play around with my warm up sometimes. If I'm doing my strength workout at Redline, usually I'll involve a kettlebell like this one here, but the one I have at home is only 12 kilos. It's not too heavy, which is why you saw me only do a single arm with it. Normally at Redline, I'll use a 20 kilo kettlebell and go for 5 reps with both hands. This one, since it's light enough, I'll just go single arm, just to challenge myself a little bit more. And I'm keeping the reps low because it is a warm up. And then what I'm essentially doing right now is after I do a movement like the swings, get a little bit of mobility in. First mobility exercise you saw me do, I was doing a Spider-Man lunge with an overhead reach. So opening up the hips a little bit more, opening up or getting more rotation work through my T-spine, my thoracic spine, otherwise known as the upper back. One thing I need to get better at, or at least start getting back at, is mobility work, especially through my upper back. I don't rotate as well through my upper back like I used to. Nor do I extend as well as I used to. And that's just because over the years I haven't always had the best of posture, but I've also neglected doing mobility work on the regular. So I really need to get back into it. In one area, in terms of everyday life, that I've noticed just a restriction in my upper back mobility. It's actually looking over my shoulder when doing shoulder check and driving. I mean, it used to be in the past where I can easily just look behind my shoulder and not have to place my hand on the passenger side seat in order to try to take a look around me. But I've also noticed, this is back when I did my Ironman training a few years ago, being in the aero position on my tri bike, I wasn't able to comfortably be in this position and look up at the same time because I just lost some of my mobility through the upper back. But even shoulder mobility, it's not the same as it used to be. So I gotta get diligent in incorporating mobility work back into my training, not just focus only on improving strength. and improving cardio. And strength and cardio is just one aspect of being fit, being healthy. I gotta make sure I'm mobile as well and flexible. Usually this particular drill I'm doing right now, I use a resistance band, a light resistance band, but can't find my light resistance band today, so using a broomstick. Skater jumps are nice exercise to throw into training, whether you do it as a part of a warm-up like I'm doing right now or an actual training exercise. Too many times when we train, we tend to be in one plane of motion, right? Like either doing something like this or an up and down. But there isn't a lot of side-to-side movements that are incorporated. When you're looking at something like preparing for the POPAT or any of the police tests for that matter, being agile, the ability to stop, turn, and change direction quickly and without injuring yourself is an important skill to learn. So doing something like these skater jumps can be very helpful. But while you're first learning them, I wouldn't worry about trying to make big jumps to the side. Really, my music here. Oh. Just even doing small jumps, perfectly fine. And learn just how to stick that landing too before you get a bit more dynamic like you saw me do on that last set. All right. Yeah, no, I'll just go this way. So normally in the gym when I'm doing strength training, I'm working on deadlifts, heavy deadlifts, and push-ups as my superset. Then I follow it up typically with reverse lunges using barbell and some pull-ups. Today, I'm actually going to start with dumbbell chest press. I'm not entirely sure what weight to go with. Probably going to go a little bit lighter, but a little bit heavier. And then I'm going to follow it up with Romanian deadlift. So, you know what? I'll be conservative to start. Just go 25s. I can go heavier, but like I said, I'll start off conservative for the deadlifts, or sorry, for the chest press. Oh, come on. I don't think I lined it properly. Come on. Okay. Come on. Now, these adjustable dumbbells these are actually new to my arsenal. I think I'm still getting used to how to line things up so I can turn the dial. Come on now. There we go. So I'm going to go 25s for the chest press. This can go maximum, was it 55? I think it's 55. No, 52 and a half. Maximum 52 and a half. So I'll probably do that for the deadlifts. All right, now it's way too easy. Definitely going heavier on the next set. But I'm still going to give myself about 2 minutes of rest in between. Ah, damn. Forgot to get the other side. Like I said, I'm still getting used to these dumbbells. I don't normally work with adjustable dumbbells. There we go. You know, because I was monkeying around so much with adjusting it, I'll probably keep my rest to no more than a minute right now to start off with. I'll go 3 more sets of these. Definitely going heavier on the next dumbbell chest press. Oh boy. Why can't I figure this out? There we go. All right, so I did 25 pounds for the last chest press. Why don't we go? Yeah, I'll go 45s. Why not? There you go, 45 pounds. I think after the next superset, I'll maybe give myself a minute and a half rest. Oh, come on now. There we go. Oh, what happened there? Which one were you? Actually, I have no idea which one this was. Oh, there we go. That'll be the equivalent right there. Oh, these better be holding on. Like I said, I don't work with adjustable dumbbells all that often, so I gotta make sure these are good before I start lifting. There you go. That's better. All right. 52.5. Oh. There we go. All right, that was a better combo. But I still don't think I need necessarily 2 minutes of rest there. Oh, no, why aren't you lining up? There we go. So I gotta say, this is a little annoying. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, or this is just more finicky than I expected it to be. There you go. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I haven't been doing as much of these workouts, or at least haven't been posting these workouts on YouTube. That's just because training's just been a little bit more different. Some of my strength workouts haven't always been at Redline, and when they have, a lot going on, so it's just makes more sense not to record. Or if I'm at another gym, usually there's a local rec center that I go to. So I haven't been filming those. And then in terms of my cardio training, my hip flexors have been getting better. So I haven't been on the Airdyne or my bike lately. There we go. Yeah, last couple weeks, pretty much all my training for cardio, for conditioning, has been running, and actually quite a bit of intervals, which even in just 2 short weeks, starting to catch up on my shins, all the intervals that I've been doing. That was a better transition. How about that? I think I'm starting to figure out these adjustable dumbbells. I'm going to do one more set. Dumbbell chest press and Romanian deadlifts. But like I was saying before I started those deadlifts, much of my cardio training the last couple of weeks have been running and doing intervals at the track, or maybe an easy run here or two, or easy run 1 or 2. Wow, confusing myself here. But anyway, I did mention that all the intervals. Last week I did three days of intervals. This week it's been 2, and I'm probably going to end up doing another one tomorrow, possibly a bit today, depending on how things go. But I mentioned that I've been catching up on my shins. Now, it hasn't been terrible. Like, I can still run, but I am feeling it just a tiny bit. And I know if I keep on pushing it this way moving forward, I'm only just going to make my shins worse. So next week, I would say max 2 workouts that are intervals, that are track workouts. And if I still want to get high intensity interval training into the mix, I'll just have to use my bike or the Airdyne at Redline for that one. Even if I do some like easy runs or easy cardio, probably want to use some non-impact means to get that done. All right, last set. Now, normally, if I was at the gym, I'd probably just dump these dumbbells to the side when I'm done, but these are adjustable dumbbells. That likely wouldn't be a good idea. And as you can see, it's concrete floor here, so. All right, I think it was just me earlier, not figuring out how the base works. I find when I do Romanian deadlifts, the limiting factor for me isn't actually the legs, it's actually grip. So quite often if I end up doing Romanian deadlifts, if I'm using dumbbells, I'm definitely not going too heavy. Although I probably could do more than, what's this, 52.5 pounds? Probably end up doing more than that. If necessary. But even let's say if I was using, that's right. Yeah, even if I was using a barbell or a trap bar or anything else, I would not be lifting as heavy with a Romanian deadlift as I would with a conventional deadlift or sumo deadlift, anything where I have an opportunity to put the weight down on the ground. And that's just because when the weight's down on the ground, my grip, as challenging as it is with heavy weights, gets a bit of a reprieve. For Romanian deadlifts, for them using dumbbells or a barbell, I usually go lighter because I'm holding onto the bar, whatever's in my hands, I'm holding onto it much longer, so I feel it more. All right, so next up, I actually haven't decided if I'm going to do lunges or step-ups. I'll probably go with step-ups today. Switch it up a bit. I'll do step-ups and rows. You know what, I think I'll start with the step-ups first in this case. Okay. Will be a good way to start with. You know, let's go conservative. Let's go 30s. You know what I think I'll do actually with this one? I think I'll alternate. I'll go step ups right leg only, and then into rows, and then step ups left leg only. Okay. Yeah, I can go ahead on the next set. Anytime I do a single limb, in this particular case, single leg, I always like to start with the non-dominant leg first, the weaker leg. And in this case, it's my right leg. And I just realized I just went completely different than what I mentioned I was going to do earlier, so I'll just stick with what I just did right now. I'll do both legs, then I'll do my rows, and then I'll rest. You know what, I'll give myself 2 minutes rest in between. I'll explain shortly what I was talking about earlier about starting with the non-dominant leg. So I mentioned earlier, my right leg is my weaker leg. And it's weaker in the sense that when I'm trying to generate power. So my right leg is strong in the sense that if I'm doing a kick, I got more control. This is where I have my strength. But strength and control, in terms of generating power, my left leg is the dominant leg. Because using my right leg to move around, my left leg has to anchor me strong to the ground. So it has to be even stronger than what the right leg is doing right now. So usually if I'm coaching someone on the vault and I'm telling them to do more of a 1 foot takeoff versus both feet over the bar, I always like to ask, what is your dominant leg? What leg, if you were to, now it depends on the situation. If it's someone who maybe plays soccer, I'll ask. Actually, even if someone who doesn't play soccer, I'll say, what leg would you kick with if you were to kick a soccer ball? And so if they say they like to kick with the right leg, and I'll tell them most likely, it's not always the case, but 99% of the time, left leg is the dominant leg. Because again, when I'm kicking that soccer ball, I got to plant my leg into the ground, so it has to be really strong, like a root, right? It's anchoring me. And if it's weak, I'm not going to be able to make a good, strong kick. Think of it like martial arts too. You know, it's likely that a lot of you, that right leg is that stronger leg, or is that leg that you're using to kick, but the one that's really generating power is the leg that's anchoring you, that's rooting you to the ground. So I did say I wanted to go heavier. So I always like to start with the non-dominant leg first when I'm doing single leg exercises, because it is the one that needs the most work. So it's typically relatively fresh. Because I'm also, actually I'll mention it afterwards. You know what, I think I'll stick with 40s for the last 2 sets. Okay, so just going back to what I was trying to say when I was doing the set there. I started with my non-dominant leg. I'm a little bit more fresh going into the set because I've had that recovery time. If I were to start with left leg, which is already my strong leg, I'll be going up. But once I've done the strong leg, I'm going to have a certain amount of fatigue in me at that point. Not so much in the limb, obviously, but just I've worked a little bit harder. I'm breathing heavier. So it's kind of that cardio fatigue, if you will. On top of that, I've already been holding onto the weights for what? Let's call it 15 to 20 seconds. So there's also fatigue in the forearms. So I don't want that to be a contributing factor to my performance now that I'm on my right leg. So if this is fatiguing, I'm already breathing a little bit heavier, chances are, especially if I'm really challenging myself, my technique might not be the most ideal when I'm doing a non-dominant leg. So rather than having that, having it be affected from something else beforehand, I'll do it first which will then affect the stronger side, but at least the stronger side I know can handle it, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. I forgot to bring water down. Oh well. I only got 2 more sets of these. Total workout time, I mean, once all is said and done with this stuff, I mean, right now I'm about 31 minutes in. That includes my warm-up, but that also includes me fiddling around with this stuff. When all is said and done, I'd probably be done my workout in less than 40, 45 minutes tops. That includes the warm-up, although it wouldn't include a cool down. Grip certainly becomes a factor on this one. All right, one more set. It's like I was saying earlier, when all is said and done with this particular workout, you take no more than 40, 45 minutes, including a warm-up, but not including a cool down. I mean, if you were to include a cool down in 45 to 50 minutes. But you also see, I'm not doing a ton of exercises, 4 exercises at most. But I'm going, in this case, 4 sets on each one, and I'm going to a challenging point, or at least as much of a challenging point. I can certainly go heavier with a lot of what I did today, but I haven't done this particular type of exercise, or like a sequence, if you will. So rather than going crazy with it, just test, see where I'm at, and then next time I know I could probably do more. It's always better to err on the side of caution than to go all in, or at least too deep with whatever it is you're doing. All right, so as much as you want to improve, we always got to think of the long term. Fitness shouldn't just be about the short term. Fitness should be, you got to think of the long game whenever you're training. Push hard, yes. You also got to listen to your body. Not every workout has to be ski god type workouts. All right, that set here. All right, that's a good one. All right. So, stopping the clock on that one there. I got 36 minutes on my watch. And that included that warm up I did there and the fiddling around with these adjustable dumbbells. So, you don't need hours upon hours in the gym. Especially, this is going to go more for those who have that training history. It absolutely isn't necessary to spend hours and hours in the gym or training. It's always easier to maintain what you got and maybe just do a little bit more versus try to throw everything into a short period of time and then you do nothing for a long time. And you try to concentrate all your training into a short period of time and then nothing afterwards. I mean, that doesn't do you well in terms of being able to improve your overall performance, or just longevity in general in terms of health and fitness. So if you already got training history behind you, again, you don't need a ton of time in the gym. You just need enough to challenge yourself. And same and the exercises too. You don't need dozens of exercises in one session. I just did 4 exercises. If I were to include some core work into this mix, I'm looking at maybe another 10 minutes of training, and even then, 1 or 2 core exercises I'm going to focus on. So if you are a beginner, maybe you can do more, but honestly, it's not necessary. You can do something like this as well. You got to focus on doing things right, doing things well, and challenging yourself with the weights. So if you made it all the way through on this video, thank you for sticking with me. If you got any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can email me at mark@roconditioning.ca. But until next time, have a good one, y'all.